Hello friends, it's Sherry. How you doing today? I hope everyone's going to have a great weekend. I plan on having a good weekend because it's going to snow tomorrow. And we don't get a lot of snow here in my area of North Carolina. So when it does snow, it's a big deal. And we're getting 5 to 8 inches. So that means I don't go anywhere tomorrow and possibly on Monday. Yeah, so, but as long as we have electricity, and even if I don't, well, it might be cold in here, but besides that, I can do some crafting. Anyway, I'm here today for a flip through of this journal that I've been working on. I've been working on, let's see, I started out with 4 covers and I finished this one, and then after this I'll be working on those. So what I did, if you didn't see any of the previous videos where I was working on this, I cut this book apart, one of these little best in children's stories book. This one's really pretty with the gray and pink. I stitched around the outside here just for looks. I didn't, wasn't really stitching anything together. I just thought I wanted to try, and I thought it was pretty with the stitching. I added some flowers and buttons here. I used the spiral or metal coils for the binding. I added some fabric here on the edge of the spine where I, cut it apart. I just thought it would look pretty, and then added a little tassel here. I've never made a tassel this small before, but I wanted to try it because I see others doing it, and I've always made big fluffy tassels. So I made this little one. It's hanging on a bulb pin that doesn't get in your way really when you're opening, you just want to open the book or the journal, and it can be removed because it's on a bulb pin, so it's just like a safety pin. You open that up and take it right off and use it wherever. And I added also a little bead dangle here that I had made previously. It's got some little metal flowers there, like those are probably considered bead spacers, and a lobster claw clasp where that can also be removed. Here's the back, the original back of the book with the fabric also. And I just put this little piece of pink seam binding on here for a closure, so that whoever gets this can use this or for a closure or however they want. It's pink and it's real pretty. It's I buy all my seam binding, rickrack, and all that kind of stuff at thrift stores. So it was, I just opened the package, but it was purchased from a thrift store. So I think that's awesome, right? And it's so pretty. I've got a goodie bag here, which I'll show you at the end. But let's just get started. You can see it opens. The kind of neat thing about the, so you can see this doesn't get in the way either. Let me see. I can lay it down. There we go. It doesn't really get in the way of opening the journal. So you can lay it flat like this to work in it, or if you take this off, you can actually turn the book cover around and have it that way too. So on the front here, I said in my previous video, I discovered these pockets through Rachel at Sweet Bee Paper Co. Used some of these, they're called Adhesive Pockets, and I linked them in my last video where I was working on this. So this little book plate was already here, and I think it's super cute, so I left it. Just put this in, and then there's a couple goodies in here. Just a little journaling card, and this book belongs to a little tag there that could be used wherever. So I'm just going to flip the pages and show you what I did. This is original, you can see it matches original book pages from the book. So I left those front to that and the contents page. And here's the copyright 1958. So, and I added some Eclectic pages. These were kind of Eclectic Stash Buster journals. The front of it actually gives me a Valentine vibe, even though there's no heart. It's just the pink color, I guess. It could be used for a Valentine journal. Or, the good thing about it not really being all hearts and things like that is that you can use it for any type of journal. So this is just some paper that I had spritzed on the other side with some blue food coloring. This is a bridge tally card that you can write like in here like it is, or put some pictures or whatever you want to glue inside here. Of course, you can write all over this, and you can put paper in here and cover this up if you wanted to add like a writing spot. I mean, you can actually put little index cards, like a half an index card would fit in here too. I just thought of that. So anyway, you can have some fun with that. There's little original, authentic, you know, everything in here. Pretty much, I don't, if there's anything printed, I'll tell you, but I think everything is original, authentic, no digitals. But this is a vintage milk cap here. It's milk cap. You can see it says grape flavored drink. So some of the caps, milk caps, are from juices too. I got a package of those, or a bundle of those, off of eBay. I could never find them. I've never found them in a thrift store, so I resorted to eBay for that. This is a little bookmark, you know, and most of the ephemera and things I pick up, of course, at thrift stores. So that's a little bookmark, vintage bookmark, I guess. It's probably vintage. I got it at a thrift store. This is from a cute little, one of those little, I think it's probably one of that little Hallmark books, little book page there. This is wallpaper that looks like bricks. And here's some, this is a little piece that I picked up at a thrift store, and a little, this is a little, looks like a mouse postage stamp. A lot of my postage stamps I do get from mail that I receive at work, and I cut it out and bring it home and use it in my journals. This is, you can see there's a little arrow. It's a bronze like arrow paper clip here, and on the paper clip on this side I have a vintage, really pretty vintage postcard. Got the two decker buses there. Those are cool. And I just sewed a piece of lace, vintage lace, on there. Never used, so that's fun. Some this is Atlas book page, vintage. This is from a Reader's Digest that I glued on, a page that I glued onto cardstock. This is scrapbook paper that was coffee dyed. And here I just had this in my scraps, and I thought it was so cute. I just decided to put it down as a pocket. And in here I have a vintage playing card that I added coffee dyed paper on the back, and this little lace tab at the top. And then these were in my scrap box too, that I thought, well, these would be fun. I would like these, to use these in my journal as little writing spots that you can glue down somewhere, or whatever you want to do with them. And I thought they went well with the colors in the journal, so I went ahead and put those in there. And then another pocket that's right here from a book page. This is also from a Reader's Digest. That is has some sewing on it, and a little tag I've made a while ago. I made these on a video, and it's it looks like scrapbook paper, and it has this is like seam binding. It looks like a little, or maybe fabric. Anyway, a little topper there with a bulb pin and some beads, or some beads hanging on there. So that's a great writing spot too. And a little pocket you can add goodies to. Book page there, and this is just gold paper. I used this little tag right here as a tab. I just like to stick out the that angled part there and use it as a tab. Isn't that cool? Oh, let me show you while we're at this tab so I know where I am. I wanted to show you the side here. I didn't really show you that. Where I have, you know, first of all, the trims. There's the tab we just looked at, and then you can see a little button dangle here, a little bead dangle there. So, you know, it has a really pretty look from the side there. So back to our tab. This is, I think this might be one of the only copies I have in here. Let me see, that's sticking on something. There we go. Yeah, this might be one of the only copies I have in here. I have a vintage 1940s yearbook, and it had all these beautiful handwritten autographs in the back. So I made, I think I made some copies of that and cut them up and coffee dyed them, or I coffee dyed them and cut them up as pages. But this is one of those, and I thought it was so pretty. I mean, you can even see the red and the brown, the different colors of ink and everything. And just really cool. I love that. I love those. And this is another page probably from a Hallmark book. This is scrapbook paper. Like, you know, you can see the colors there. This is an envelope that I coffee dyed. I cut it in half, made a pocket, decorated it, and there's a tag in here. This is made from wallpaper and, you know, some tickets and things. There's a little number tag there, and there's a key on there. It was sticking in the back there. Yeah, key on a bulb pin with some jute twine, little topper there. So fun writing spot. This is from a children's book. Probably it looks like it was from one of the dictionaries I have. Children's dictionary. And ledger. This is wallpaper, and I decided to decorate this side with a piece of pretty paper that I had. It was this color with the butterflies. And there's a flip out, and here's the other side of the wallpaper. This was wallpaper. This particular piece looks like maybe it was one I always save. Maria sends me things wrapped in wallpaper, and I always save even the wrapping, and it's folded, a little bit, and things like that. But I just straighten it out and use it, and this looks like what that was from because it's got a little fold here. But I think it's still beautiful and very usable, so I always use it. This is a book page. It looks like it's probably from this book or one of these books that I'm working on. Added some trim, and there's the first little bulb pin with a wooden heart button right there. This is a page, just a blank page from, it says 1959 here. It looks like it might be also from that little Hallmark book that I was using, just those little pages. And it's just a fun vintage, that creamy colored vintage paper that we like. This is some lined paper from some kind of little notebook you can see, and it looks vintagey. It looks like it's browning. Little envelope that I made, and in here is a little shaker with some sequins you can have fun with. You can always glue that down as a pocket or tuck spot too. Some retro stationery that I had with these flowers, retro flowers. I did spritz some color on the back. It looks like blue. I use food coloring to make my little sprays, and just spray the back of white things a lot just to have some color. This is wrapping paper, vintage wrapping paper with a train. That's trains, like a sketch of a train. I thought that was so pretty. This is from another little journal I took apart, and it says summer. There's some lines there, and on the back is grid. This might have been a garden journal. I don't remember now. It's been a while since I took this apart, but I had, of course, some pages left from it and used one here. This is just some more of that gold paper. I think I already had one of those pages, but I clipped on here a vintage photograph with black and white. It's an authentic photograph. I'll paper clip that on there for fun. A large journaling or a playing card that you can use. You can put a picture on here, use this as a background either side, or glue some paper on here and use it as a writing spot, whatever your imagination, wherever it takes you. This looks like a page from this book. A little tuck spot here I made with a game piece. This is a little cardboard domino, and I made a little tag from this is a very vintage Monopoly card here, community chest, and I added a little topper there. And you can write on the back. Those are blank on the back, so they're very handy for tags. A large postcard here that it's bound in. Plenty of writing spot on the back, and see, there's the love theme. See why it kind of gives me and this was a heart too, so it kind of gives me that Valentine vibe. This is some more, I think I had another piece in the front of Dragonfly stationery that's been spritzed on the back. A flashcard. It's so neat to be able to bind things in like this with these journals. Lined paper. Another little playing card here. This is Tweety Bird. I only have a couple of these, but I'm trying not to, I love them so much, so it's like I don't want to use them, but then I do want to use them, so that's why I have them. So, I don't want them just sitting around doing nothing. I think this was from this book. And then here's a, authentic from a book library card. So you can decorate this. I was tempted to, but I thought I would leave it for whoever gets this to do what they want. So I don't, I wouldn't cover up this anyway, this label. I would decorate down here, but whoever gets this can do what they want here. But it's from a library, and I thought it was really cool. And this is the actual library card from this pocket, used library card. So somebody could put paper on here and cover up the the writing, or leave it if they really, really love it. I think it's really cool, but I might cover up one side of it. But if it were mine, I might cover up like the back and right back here, put some coffee dye paper or something on the back, right back here, and leave this as it is. But of course, whoever gets it can do whatever they want. Just ideas I'm throwing out there. A tag I had previously made, so that is in there. Let's put it in front. It has a little key tag down here too, metal key tag and a postage stamp, in case you didn't see that. Little flip up here, it's kind of a double. Well, there's some tatting right here I used to decorate at the top, tatting trim, and then this is lace, and then there's another layer here, and then a writing space or whatever under there. And then this is another page, little page here with a doily folded around, and I left that open. I didn't put anything in there, but you can tuck something in there. It will stay in there. I tried it when I did it to make sure something would actually hold something, and it did when I did it. So another one of the children's dictionary book pages. That is a vintage book, of course. A flashcard. Vintage, isn't that a cool one? I don't use those very much, but it fit. Since this was, you know, a taller book, I could use this to clamp in there. A tag. This I actually got at a thrift store just like this. I don't know how they did it, if this is stenciling or this feels like maybe some kind of ink or paint on there, but I thought it was so cool. It looks like a what you might call it, a blueprint. I thought it was so pretty, but the colors are really neat. Anyway, I love it. I loved it, and picked it up at the thrift store just like that, and now it's in this journal. This is scrapbook paper there. This is scrapbook paper. Like, this is cardstock scrapbook paper, and this is papery scrapbook paper there, but isn't it pretty? And then page from this book. A card here. Happy birthday. You can write all over this, glue all over it, whatever you want. Paint. Dragonfly stationery with, this one's coffee dyed. A page from the Hallmark book. And this is a ledger paper. Here is the bookmark that goes with this one. Maybe I won't take it off right now, but it's the spine from this book, and I added rickrack on either side. This is an envelope that I decorated with just some tissue that I think it was wrapped around something. Maybe my Your Creative Studio. I bet that's what it was. So I thought it was so pretty. I put a piece there and a piece here. I just ripped it. So it's got that nice ripped edge. And then this is a piece from that stationery that I showed you earlier that I put on the other side of the wallpaper that had a butterfly on it. This was from that, a scrap from that. And isn't it pretty right there? And in here, I'm sure I have something, a large journaling card that I had made. This is made from an index card type shape card, and then I just added lots of bits and pieces here. This is a digital print behind here, this little flower piece, and then added these layers of different laces and things. So that's another Valentine-y thing. See, I guess that's why I'm getting the Valentine vibe from this journal. Quite a few little heart things in here, isn't there? Yellow paper. This is just a random piece of paper I got from a thrift store. It's cardstock, and it has all this cool, you know, information on it. I put trim on here. Safety pin with this is one of my own paper beads that I made, and a little owl charm right there. Page from that little book. Some more of the retro stationery. Atlas page here. We're not at the back yet. Here's a pocket I made out of blue. This is a blue Rolodex card. A library catalog card, vintage there, and it's blank on the back. I like to decorate these, but I thought I'd leave it for whoever gets it to decorate it and write on it and whatever and have some fun. And then there's a page from my Greene stamp book here that I thought you could have some fun with. Of course, that's very vintage. And let's see, are we at the back? I think we are. Some graph paper. Pretty stationery. It's spritzed with green on the back. This is scrapbook paper. That's coffee dye. Here's the back cover where I have another one of those adhesive pockets with a tag here. It has a little tab on it, and it's a couple layers here. Anything is possible. I don't know where I got that. It feels cardstocky. Probably cut it out from a card or something. And then this has a little thumb hole here where you can get this back in there. It fits in there perfectly. And then that is the back. So let's go through the goodie bag real quick before my time runs out. And I put these are some things I wanted to put in there, but I didn't want to see how it's kind of already, it's because of it was kind of flat. It was pretty flat before I put ephemera in there, and then I started loading up the pockets, and that's how it is right now. So once you take it out, all the goodies out of the pockets and the paper clips, you'll see you can do what you want to do in there, but that's just how it is now. So I didn't want to put any more in there. So I put quite a few things in here that I thought someone could use to have fun with, but I'll just go through real quick. Like, here's a little, probably a book page that I folded into a journaling spot. Little thing I made out of rubber stamped ledger paper, a little bee tag with, this is baker's twine, little baker's twine tag there. A lot of these I just make out of scrap. So that's pink cardstock. This was a printed piece that I just inked around and made into a journaling card. Just random things I cut out of random junk mail that you can have fun with. Oh, this is another ledger journaling spot where I stamped a mushroom stamp on there. Some flowers. This is a little file folder. A little sticker. Isn't that pretty? I have several of these words in here. Let me see if I can find them all. I know I stuck them all in here. Let me see. Where is the rest? I don't know. I thought there were more than that. Anyway, this one says beauty. Here's a couple little like clusters. They have 3 pieces here. 2 flowers in this little corner spot to decorate a corner. This can be wherever, decorate a corner or a pocket or something, but it's several layers there. A little journaling card. It's got birds on this side. Or is that birds? Nope, that's, yep, I think there are some birds on there. That looks like, no, that's a leaf. That's just floral, okay. Yeah, a couple journaling cards in here. I love journaling cards. So I put some that says my favorites. Oh, this is a big journaling card. Oh, there's a couple here. Aren't those pretty? Lots of writing space there. A guest check. A little tiny tag. Isn't that cute? I love those. I have a bunch of those I made with my Cricut before it stopped working. 2 index cards. Great for writing spots or backgrounds, you know, for a matting a photo or some kind of other memento. So here's little index cards that I cut into, they're pretty much cut in half. They might be a little smaller than half, but I like doing this with index cards. And I have a bunch ready for my journals or for my goodie bags, so I put some in here. I'm trying to put things in here by size, but this is just a little scrap I cut out with my scallop, this scrapbook paper that I cut out with my square scallop punch. Some tags that I cut out with my tag punch. And a little piece that I cut out of a planner. And an extra piece of fabric that matches the fabric right here. In case you need that for something, you can tear it into smaller strips and use it for tags or, you know, whatever. But there is a piece of that. So and it comes in this pink bag that matches too. I don't know if you noticed that, but it matches. Look at the buttons. So anyway, this was fun to finish this project that I had sitting here. Like I said in my first video, for over a year, I had this this cover ready, and I didn't finish it for some reason. I just kind of got, didn't know what I wanted to do. So finally done, and I'm going to work on the other 4 before I'm going to make myself finish those before I get detoured on something else. So thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. And like I said, this will be in my shop when you see this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. See you in my next video. Happy crafting.